Are we on the air?
You're now in the mix with The Corner Radio, hosted by Kill, banging nothing but classic hip-hop, soul, and R&B.
What's good, what's good, what's good? Y'all tuning into Corner Radio, hosted by your man Kill. I got my peoples on deck with me today. I got my man JR. What's going on, fam?
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
Everything is everything. I got my man JP. What's good, fam?
What's up with you? I'm good.
Everything is good, man. Everything is good. So, y'all already know it. Let's jump right into it. This week, we chopping it up about basically the way over the past 25 to 30 years, the way that music is released, the way that people listen to it. You know, I want to see what other people prefer and everything like that. And this convo got started because my man Sin has sent me and JR the link to the new Maxwell single. This is his third joint he'd be dropping before the album drops. Mm-hmm. And my first thought was, damn, I can't wait to get home to hear this. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, I don't want to hear no more. Like, I want to listen to the album as a whole. I want to just sit back and just put the headphones on or put it in the whip and just listen to the complete album. And my man E got at me and was like, well, what's wrong with all the songs being released ahead of time? Like, you know, for him, he was like, yo, it didn't matter. You know, and for me, it was just so big because I've always been and JP, we a little older than JR. So, and I mean, but JR, I'm sure you still came up in this era, but it was just.
Yeah, clean that up.
Here you go already, bro. But coming up in the era when the album meant so much. Right. You know what I mean? There would be times when I was like, God, it had to be 87, 88. I'm 13, 14. I would just be in a record store and randomly see an album out. Like, you know, back in the 80s, we didn't have the source and nothing like that to tell us, yo, the album's dropping this day. I literally would just go in a record store sometimes like, oh, snap, you know, KRS got a new album out, or this person got a new album out. I just remember going home and listening to the album and flipping the album over to the B-side. So for me, it was just something always about listening to the album. So just wanted to look at some of the ways that records were released. And since we have so many people who watch us that are younger, that they may not even know these days, you know what I mean? Like, so let me go down memory lane for a minute to talk about, you know, way back in the 90s, it was like, boom, an artist and label would, you know, work on a, you know, release date. They say, boom, the album is coming July, maybe around May, you know, maybe April, they drop the first single. You start seeing ads in the source. You start seeing ads in the vibe. You see the video, boom, then the album drops. And then they kind of took it from there. Now, sometimes the release dates would get pushed up during the internet age in case the album leaked. You know what I'm saying? So it would be like, all right, boom, we're going to push the album out a week before because Cass already got it. We want to get these sales, whatever. But then, you know, now recently we all know you've got the Beyonce who drops out of nowhere. You know, nobody knew what Lemonade was. You just knew it was coming on HBO, and then you watched it, and boom, by the time it's finished, it's on Tidal. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, now you've got these big marketing plans. You've got Kanye renting out MSG to play the life of Pablo with fashion shows, and, you know, Rihanna's with Samsung, and Kanye and them are with Tidal, and Drake's with Apple and everything like that. But the first question up, how do y'all prefer to listen to the music? Do you like this new thing of where Maxwell is going to give you 4 or 5 songs before the album drops to get you hype, or do you prefer to listen to the whole album as a whole? What about you, JP?
I think for me personally, I prefer the one single and then drop the album. Like, I don't need to hear 4 or 5 songs ahead of time, because especially if you're going to give me an album of 10 songs, I done heard half the album already. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be exciting as much. But I feel like, you know, artists that do that now, they're not catering to us. They're catering to the crowd that wants everything right now. Right. So we're a part of the audience that they want. I mean, depending on if you're a new artist or an old artist, we are fans of that, but we're not necessarily catered to in that regard. So, I mean, I understand it from that perspective, but I mean, ultimately, you know, they're trying to keep up with the times. Like, you know, they want to, and plus, I feel like, I mean, and it doesn't apply to artists like Maxwell, but certain artists, you know, the quality of the product has dipped. So that's why they're giving so much out before the album is out, so they can gauge, you know what I'm saying, the excitement for the album, so they'll know when to drop it. But I mean, for me personally, like I said, I'm just one single, drop the album. If I rock with you like that, I'm gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with that one single. I don't need to hear 4 and 5 singles, especially if that's like half the album. Like, I don't want to do that.
Right. No doubt. What about you, JR?
I agree. I'm that one single and then the album. Because especially now, it's like we only getting like 10 songs now. So it's like now, it's like you getting like 5, 6 singles. It's like, what the hell do I need to buy the album for? And for me, I'm an album head. So if your single is that strong, your first single, that single is going to last. So it's like you bring out the single like 2 months before the album is about to come out. By the time the album come out, we still riding with that single. So you still got people wanting to listen and be ready for this album. And now it's like you bring the album out. I mean, you bring the single out in what, May? You got the next single out in June. Then the album comes out, what, July? And by then you got 3 singles out by then. It's like it loses me. So I'm with that. I'm with the one single and then the album.
Yeah.
So.
And I agree with both y'all. I'm the same way. It's funny because when Kendrick first dropped Black of the Berry off of the Pimp Like a Butterfly, I really didn't like it like that. And then when he dropped what was the second joint? He dropped King Kunta. You know, I really didn't like that either. You know, so at that point I was like, yo, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this album. But when I listen to Pimp the Butterfly as a whole, I almost feel like those songs kind of fit in. It's like I always just looked at the album, and again, you know, the era we were raised in, it's like the album was like a whole puzzle. You know what I mean? And it was like, you know, now when I listen to Pimp a Butterfly from beginning to end, King Kunta fits right in. You know, the Black of the Berry fits right in. But then it was funny because me and that was like, yo, I'm never listening to another Kendrick single. Like, I'm not listening to nothing till the album drops, because this is a dude who still understands the masterpiece of the beauty of putting together an album, you know, and putting a track listing together in a certain way. It's funny, I'll be working with cats on their albums, and they'll just literally, I've seen cats literally put an album together and just put it in the track listing of how they recorded the songs. And I'm like, nah, bro, like, let's get something that's that single that I always call, me and JR talk about this all the time, that EPMD single. Like, EPMD just knew how to put out a big single, and they knew how to set off an album. Like, Strictly Business set off Strictly Business. So what you're saying, set off Unfinished. You know, I'm Mad set off the next joint. You know, then the joint after that, Straight from the Boondocks. It was something about EPMD and the way they set off an album, and then also their singles like Crossover. JP, I know you know, because that was 92, and it was just like, that was such a huge single. You know, and it was so crazy because it's slow. It's not no get up and dance, you know, it's going to be played at the club, but it was a huge single for them. So I just come from those days when I just want to hear, you know, the whole album and hearing it, how the album's sequenced and everything like that. So, you know, for me, I'm just like, y'all, I don't want to hear the singles anymore. It's like nowadays I feel like I got to trick myself to kind of go back in the past. Like, it's like, all right, no, I don't want to hear no more. You know, or even when Game dropped, when he did the documentary 2, and then he came out with this 2. To this day, I'm still saving this 2. I haven't heard it, you know, because I'm just saving it. When I want some good hip hop, then I can just go get that. You know what I mean? I did the same thing with Kendrick's Untitled Unmastered. I didn't listen to it when Twitter hype was up and everybody is talking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just wait, give it 2-3 weeks, let all this hype die down, then I'm gonna jump into it. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna get into all that hoopla. So I definitely agree with y'all with that. Now tell me this: do y'all prefer? Now we've got, you know, Beyonce's done it twice. She did it with the Beyonce album. I think it just dropped on like a Friday night out of nowhere. Nobody knew it was coming. And then she did it with this Lemonade joint. You know, so D'Angelo kind of did it with Black Messiah. You know, word kind of got the air around the Friday that D was dropping something, and then that just dropped. Do y'all prefer this whole just music dropping out of nowhere, or do you like knowing there's a release date that's coming, giving you something to look forward to? JP, what you think about that?
First off, only a certain amount of artists can do that. Like Beyonce can do that. I mean, for her benefit, to get the reaction. Like everybody, like Keisha Cole can't do it. I mean, she could do it, but she's not going to get the same result. You know what I mean? I love Keisha Cole. I love Keisha Cole. Right. But ultimately, I don't have a problem with that though. I don't have a problem with how I said like the one single and then release the album. But when you drop out of, it's like a surprise. Who don't love surprises? Especially if the album is great or whatever. So I think it works definitely for artists of her caliber. They can do that because they have such a huge following. It's beneficial because they so into her and all that like that. They will respond. They will buy the album, download it, whatever. But everybody can't do it. But I have no problem with that. Surprise out of the blue. I appreciate stuff like that.
All right, no doubt. What about you, JR?
I'm not here for it. As a fan, I want to know when the album is coming out. Like, when you surprise me, especially now, it's like, yo, really? Like, I want to be anticipated. I don't want to be sitting there like, oh, shit, Mary just came out with a new album. Okay, great. I want that, yo, the album is coming out September 24th. It's like, all right, September 24th, let's get this ready. I'm ready for this new album. I know you're going to have a single to get me prepared for it. I'm not really here for the surprise. And not everybody want to do it. And like JP said, Beyonce she's able to do that. Not every other artist is able to do something like that. So if you're not huge like her, then it ain't going to work. So for me, I'm not here for it. I'm like, yo, screw that. Give me a release date. I want to know a release date. Screw that.
I hear that. And for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like JP. I don't have a problem with the album dropping out of nowhere because, like you said, there's only going to be a certain amount of artists that can do that. So it's probably not going to be more than 5. What, Beyonce, Jay, Drake, maybe Kendrick now at this point. I think D'Angelo was going so long that we was just happy to see something. So you're not going to get that too much, but I won't hold you. I like the surprise, but at the same point in time, too, I do like the release date because I'm just the type of personality that I like looking forward to something. I like knowing we going on vacation in August.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that would get
nothing in the world like having something to look forward to, man.
Right. It's like, okay, I know I'm going to vacation in August. This is going to get me through every day at the 9 to 5, just knowing that's coming on. Even with this Maxwell coming July 1st, like I'm hyped this week. Like that's giving me some oomph this week to just like, I can't wait to hear this joint or whatever like that. But I'm not mad at the artists that do it because I just think nowadays with the internet, you've got to be, and it seems like because of the internet, the record label has always been a step behind. And they're always trying to come up with new things to do. That's why, I think Beyonce or whoever does her marketing is like a genius. Just being able to just tell people, yo, something about Eliminate is coming on HBO on Saturday, and everybody's tuned in, everybody's listening to it, and then it's like, boom, and it'll get into our next thing. But I was reading this thing where they were saying Tidal was saying because of that, like they got like 1.2 million more subscribers.
Oh yeah, that in the Prince catalog.
Right. Just off of that alone. Now, of course, they didn't say if those people ever became paid subscription holders.
Right. But still,
percentage. Right. You can just see what's happening, and even now, like if I can't find this probably by tomorrow. Even I don't know if y'all know they got a Jay-Z documentary up on Making a Reasonable Doubt. Like
20th anniversary.
Right. Anniversary on Tidal that you can only watch on Tidal. So if I couldn't get my hands on it nowhere else, I'm gonna have to go in and do the free subscription, just to watch this. So cats are pulling off so many different marketing strategies. And I think Ye was the first to do this. Like I guess it was 2010, but before my Dark Twisted Fantasy, and he had the whole Good Friday thing.
Right.
Friday he was dropping a new song, and everybody really became hyped for that, which eventually led to Timbaland Tuesdays and Swiss Beats Monster Monday. Everybody had a day of the week where they was like, all right, we're gonna drop some new music. But I think with Ye, what was so dope was because half the joints he dropped on those Good Fridays didn't even end up making the album.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that was just dope to just continually give us more music. But I think what happened with then is then we got spoiled. You know what I mean? And it was like we always want new music. So like you said, JP, Maxwell putting out all these singles really isn't for us, but I almost feel like they got to do it because we're so microwave right now. Like it's like, yo, this album dropped Monday, and it's like, yo, I remember when Kendrick dropped "To Pimp Like a Butterfly," it was everywhere for like a good week and a half. Yo, a month later, you ain't hear nobody talking about it. Pimp a Butterfly. You know what I mean? And JP, how long do you think we was talking about Tribe's Low End Theory when that dropped?
Oh my God. I mean, I can't even remember how long, but it was a different time. And like, it's about what's next. You know what I'm saying? They don't get a time to savor and enjoy because the attention is just so short. Attention span is short. So it's about what next, no matter how good it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's just how it is, man. It's a shame, but that's
And
how
the
it is.
crazy thing is, my man Mills said it, man. He said, man, I swear it's more hype for the album dropping than when it actually drops. You be waiting for the album to drop, and then it drops, and it can, like you said, it could be a 5-mic classic, but I don't even hear nobody talking about Lemonade no more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you drop these albums, D'Angelo drops, Black Messiah, you heard about it for 2 weeks in December. By the time January hit, like you said, it's next.
And this is the beauty about, Beyonce, like, not only, like you said, she did it with the last album she dropped, Beyonce came out of nowhere, the album came out of nowhere. This one was a artistic film, you know what I mean? So that was somewhat an album, but she had Formation that came out before that, so you knew something was coming eventually. But then, as soon as, her performance of, on the Super Bowl was over, the tour date was set up. So as soon as the album dropped, she went on tour. Like, that's perfect. Like, a lot of times when the album come out, you don't go on tour that quick. Like, it takes a little minute. But she went on tour right away, like, to capitalize. Right. I can't tell you how much my Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook was flooded with people going to Beyonce concert. It's been ridiculous.
Yes.
My stepdaughter went. She went a couple weeks ago. She loved, like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And then the thing too is, like you said, not just about the artists who could do that, but the artists who could put out good music. It's so funny because people always, this one chick who is on Twitter, I wrote a review of Lemonade. I love the album personally. I think, it's damn near classic. But what happened?
No, solid album. Love it. Yeah.
But she was just like, yo, Kill, I'm retweeting this, I'm pinning this because I've never heard a dude admit they like Beyonce. And I'm like, yo, I like good music. You make dope music, I rock with you. You know what I mean? And I think, like you said, JP, B is one of those few people who, because she could literally go on tour and just do this album.
Right.
And I don't think too many women, I mean, of course, you're going to have women who want to hear Single Ladies and crazy stuff. Right. I don't think too many people would be too pissed if she just literally did this album from beginning to finish. You know what I mean? And not too many people can say they do that. But in talking about Beyonce and Tidal and all that, do y'all do the whole streaming thing? Do y'all do Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, or whatever? And if so, what do you use? And if not, why don't you do the streaming thing? JP?
I'm Apple Music. I do Apple Music. My one of my dudes had put me onto it because initially it was Beats, right? It was Beats Music or something, and then Apple bought it and it got integrated or whatever. So he was like, "Yo, you need to do this Apple Music." I have to confess, man, that $9.99 spent every month, it's worth it, man. It's worth, like, and the thing about it is, what I love, even not just about Apple Music, but iTunes, is like if you buy something or stream something, they always have them suggested, well, if you like this, then such and such, here are these other artists. And I've discovered so many new artists that way that I've never heard of, that are new to me, but they've had albums for the past 10 years and I've never heard of them. So it's a great way to discover new music. So I definitely do the streaming thing, and I still buy certain people that I really rock with. But streaming allows me to listen to the album and see if I really like it. And if I really, really like it like that, I'm gonna buy it. So, I definitely do Apple Music for sure.
All right, no doubt. What about you, JR?
No, I don't. But now, JP, with that, you got me wanting to do it now. Because I didn't. Like, to be honest with you, I had Spotify. I got Sin's password. He gave it to me. He was like, yo, you want to use my joint? Go ahead. I'm not with it. But, JP, it makes so much sense. Like you said, like, it makes you discover new artists. And at first, like, on the iPhones, it asks you, like, yo, you want to do it? And I'm like, not now. But since you said something and was like, yo, you can discover new artists, I think I'm going to just go for it. And it might be worth it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, if it's an artist I really rock with, I'm going to buy it anyway. But,
right, exactly.
I mean, I can listen to some songs and be like, I might like this joint. So then I might copy, but I wasn't here for it, to be honest with you. That's why I'm normally like, my homegirl got it on her iPhone, so when I'm with her, I can go through her stuff. But like Stan gave me his password for Spotify, I'm good on that. But other than that, I'm not with that. I'm the type of dude that want to go to the store and buy an album. That's just me.
True.
I may be old school like that, but that's just me. And I can go there like it was times I can be Sam Goody when we had Sam Goody, and when we had it, and I can go there and I can be there like all day, just going through CDs, just looking for stuff. That was me, and I think I just gotta start getting with the times. I guess everybody with Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal and all that. I'm not with it, but I think I need to hop on it, yo. JP, you was a real promoter on Apple Music, so I think I'm gonna go for it since you said something.
Apple owe you a check for that one right there. You done got a
Yes,
check.
he do, yo. He went hard on that one. That's why I was like, wait a minute, I might pay my $9.99 today.
I enjoy it. I've found so many new artists, man, with good music. It's great.
Now tell me this, because I don't do the streaming thing. So tell me this: so when you do Apple Music or Spotify or any of these things, you just have access to everything?
Everything that that every artist that put their music up on Apple, Apple Music or whatever, you can stream it. Some people like Adele, I feel like she didn't allow her album to be streamed. You could only download it and buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so certain artists I think do that, but the majority of artists, they allow their music to be streamed. So like, and there's like compilations of different and old records that you forgot about or you may have lost. Like there's some CDs that I've lost or records that I've lost that I don't have anymore that are on Apple Music, and I'm like, yes, like I love it. I love it.
All right. I'm like JR. I think the hard part for me has always been, and it's funny because my man equated it to Netflix. Like my man is a big Netflix dude, and not a Netflix dude. He's a big movie dude. Like you go to his house, and the way you see records with me, he got Blu-rays and DVDs.
Right.
He's like, I want my library. He was like, it's too many times I go on Netflix and the movie that I want to see ain't streaming, and he wants to be able to put hands on it. And I think that's just the old school in me, is that I just want to be able to. But I'm like you, JP, that if I dig something, because what always happens is somebody will always send me a link to something. Right. If I put out on Twitter like, yo, I was listening to Shantae Savage's album, the chick, y'all remember Tony?
Yes. Oh yeah.
And that's a sleeper album. We have to do another show on sleeper albums, because that was a sleeper album. I don't think a lot of people heard it. She has some joints on there, but like I just asked somebody on Twitter and somebody sent me the link. I think at the end of the day, I'm just cheap as hell, man. It's just not. I really think that's what it comes down to. Like when I don't care how much money I make, I'm cheap as hell. So I think I'm always looking at it. And because JP, I'm like you, that if it's dope, I'ma still buy it. Like for the most people I know who do these don't buy music. You know what I mean? So they're like, look, hell, I may have brought 2-3 CDs a month. That's $30-$40. I don't have to buy them no more. So this $9.99 works for me. You know what I mean? I almost feel like I'm spending more money because I'm going to buy the $9.99. God forbid, I'm here Anderson .Paak. I got to buy that. I'm going to have to buy BJ. I'm going to have to buy. So, I think that's why I didn't do it. But that whole, that suggestion thing, is huge, because I think one of the things that all three of us have in common is we're always looking for new artists. I'm always looking for somebody dope. So I think that piece is huge. It's funny because I'm just looking at these numbers that Spotify has 30 million paid subscribers, Tidal has 3 million, and Apple has 13. I'm just wondering, like, man, is how this is it right here. This whole streaming thing is it. Like the majority of people, I almost feel like don't buy music anymore. Like JP, do you know a lot of people who still buy music after this?
I mean, me and my people, we don't really speak about it, but I really can't say that I do know people. Not doesn't mean that they don't, but we don't talk about it like we used to. Like it's about have you heard it, and people have heard it. That don't mean that they actually bought it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole different discussion right there.
Right. Yeah. What about you? A lot of your people still buy music?
No, they wait to get it. Wait till I get it, and then they want to get it from me. So yeah. So it's nobody is really buying this anymore. So I guess that's kind of like the what's next. So everybody got to jump on that. So right. I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to do it, man. And so hey, I'm gonna just have to do it. And I mean, like I said, JP, you gave a very good promotional joint.
And another thing is, us three, we're different than the average consumer, especially me and you, Kill. Because once you hit a certain age, like you don't have that energy to follow every artist that's out there and all that. Like that part of our life is over. If it's good enough, it'll make its way to me. You know what I'm saying? So what I like about, Apple Music, I still follow music more than the average person my age. So I feel like we're different in that regard. But still, I don't have the energy as somebody who's 22 following Vic Mensa and, Ben Staples and, all that, whatever. But
right.
Apple Music, they even put together a playlist with a bunch of different artists, and there might be a new artist in that playlist you never heard. Like it's just random stuff that they put together for you that's dope. And I'm like, oh, what's this? Who's this? And so like I can appreciate that. It takes the energy that I don't have to do that anymore. Like it makes it convenient for me. You know what I mean? So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt. It's funny because
Apple Music better pay you, JP. They better pay you. You going in right now.
They owe him a check. They owe him a check. I think the funny thing with streaming, and I don't know if y'all saw this, it was this article that they were saying that something like, and don't quote these numbers, but it was something high like this, that an average artist would have to get like 20 million streams or 20 million plays to make what the average Spotify employee makes. Now, the average Spotify employee makes like $160,000 a year. So I need to find a job at Spotify, obviously. That's number one. If that's the average, then I definitely need to work for Spotify. But the other thing, how frustrating is that as an artist to hear, JP, you and I both do music, that you would have to get 20 million plays in order to just make $168,000. There was an article about Pharrell saying he only got some small, minute amount from Happy. And Happy was everywhere. Happy was in the movie. Happy was in iTunes commercial, Apple commercials. I don't think nobody in this world hasn't ever heard Happy. And to walk away with, I know the check was less than $10,000. I know that.
Streaming wise, but I'm sure you got more money from it.
Yeah.
Other places.
Right.
Yeah, like and I've heard stuff like that about streaming, like, and it's disheartening. You know what I'm saying? As and I especially hear about producers. Like it really affects producers of an album. Streaming doesn't help that like at all. Like it's mainly, and even the artists that get residuals from that, they don't get what they really should. But the producer gets nothing. So you know what I'm saying? They still benefit of you actually purchasing the download. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's crazy to think about that. But I guess eventually some type of thing will be put into play where everybody would be able to benefit, but right now it's just not happening. It's crazy though.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost the thing that has me dealing more with writing scripts now and everything like that, because I realize music is not going to be the way for me.
Oh no, not solely. No,
not anymore. Not anymore.
Right
now it's for exposure to other things. I feel like.
Right, exactly.
As artists, we still love the craft and we still want to do it just to get the art out there to share with the world. But as far as that being our sole primary income, no, it's not gonna happen.
Right. And I think that's the crazy part, because it's affected, like what I like, because people say indie artists and different labels and different things, like everybody's got a different definition for the same word. Like to me, indie artists, like back in the day, in our day, JP, Rawkus was an independent label.
Right.
To me, that wasn't independent. Independent is what I'm talking about. Master P way back in the day selling records out his trunk. Like most entire on the A train, walking up and down asking people to buy, definition. Rawkus was a record label. So I think the streaming thing really hurts indie artists. And I'm talking about people like us, because even with my mixtapes up on Bandcamp, man, I used to make a nice chunk of change every month off of selling my mixtapes. But now with Bandcamp letting you stream the whole mixtape for free, that's hit my pockets. Wow. You know what I mean? And there's just like, so I get it from the artist standpoint. That's like, man, because now it's like, why do I need to pay $5 to download this mixtape Kill May when I can just stream it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I can just sit at my desk and it's like, man, this streaming thing is killing me. And then the other part with the newest way to release music is you have so many people putting out music for free, like Chance's coloring book. That was just free. You know what I mean? So the hard part with that is then it's hard. Me and JP do an album with a singer. It's hard for us to charge $10 because people gonna be looking like, well, Chance just gave us an album for free. It's almost putting to the audience's it's almost like if you take, back in the day, none of us ever complained about paying for music because we didn't know any other way to get it.
Right.
I remember when CDs used to be $18.99 and came in them long boxes, and you had to have the box apart, like, just to get to it. Like, you know, and CDs were $18.99, and yo, I never complained. I never once said, man, this is horrendous. $18.99 for some music. It didn't matter. You know, that was the newest thing in technology. But what's happened now is we've got music for free so much that when an independent artist asks you to support them, it's almost like the public can't even think that way anymore because they've been given so much for free. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's like that also, again, it helps the artist, but like you said, JP, it puts the producer behind the eight ball because the artist can now go out and tour.
Right.
Off that free music. So it's like, yeah, we're doing it for free, but guess what? Off of this coloring book, I bet you Chance is going on a world tour.
Touring and merch.
Yeah, touring and merchandise. So he's going to live off of that. But as the producers, I don't know if you peeped this, the Justice League was talking about that. Just basically how I guess they did a song for Chance and never got paid for it. So they were saying, just like, you know, something that Bink and we all have been saying for years is that it feels like the producer is the odd man out now. You know, if J.R.'s the artist, he comes to us like, yo, I ain't got no money. Yo, can y'all give us some beats? We give him some beats, but then you got money to pay for your video. You know, you got money to pay for your album, or you got money to pay for everything but the producer. So it kind of leaves us as the odd man out. But then let me ask y'all this. What do you think of, first, JP, because we haven't chopped it up in a minute, what did you think of Kanye's The Life of Pablo joint?
I thought it was okay. Like, I didn't, you know, some people loved it, some people didn't love it. I'm in the middle. I thought it was okay. Certain things I liked, certain things was just, you know, okay to me. I think he's just such a polarizing figure. You can get away with a lot, I feel like, now. You know what I'm saying? But musically, it was some things I really liked and some things like, you know.
Right. So, and JR, what'd you think about it?
Nope. Negative. I wasn't a fan of it at all. I was like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna like be like, oh, yo, the jump was that. Nah, what I'm gonna say is, I'm with JP. I guess it was okay because Kanye is such a creative artist. Like, he's just some stuff you gonna like, some stuff you're not gonna like. But for me, I was more on the. I mean, it was better than Jesus, that's for sure. But other than that, it was like. I haven't been excited about a Kanye album ever since, honestly, and maybe I might be going a little too far, was Graduation for me. I haven't been like, oh my God, y'all, I'm excited for a Kanye record. But then once he got with Kim and all that, I was like, man, this is for the birds. So when the joint came out and I didn't see too many people talk about it on my timeline at all, I was like, oh, this ain't right. But I know people would talk about it when what was it? Twisted Fantasy came out. When that joint, people was talking about it. People was like talking about it for a minute. People weren't talking about The Life of Pablo on my timeline that long. So I was like, oh. So when I listened to it, I was like, Kanye, nah, I'm not a fan of it. So negative. Nah.
All right. And I'm with JP. I was in the middle. Some joints on there I like you said, JR, all I was hoping for was better than Jesus. After he got with Kim, I just knew it was downhill. We wanted downhill ride.
Right.
My Dark Twisted Fantasy was with Amber. I wanted to get back with Amber, not for nothing. It's like, you know how we always joke, Mary got to be sad to make good music. I think they need to be with Amber to make good music. I need the Kim thing to end ASAP. But all that to say with The Life of Pablo is, what do y'all think of, like how Ye was like, you know, Pablo is this living, breathing document of music and that it can be changed all the time. You know, he added the Frank Ocean Wolves part that was missing, I think, and then he just added another song, Saint Pablo, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Chance was saying the same thing, like that's the way he is, like you always gotta be on Chance's SoundCloud, because he said one day I may just decide to, you know, put a new song on the album that wasn't there before or whatever. But what do y'all think about this whole, you know, living document with making albums? What you think, JP?
Negative. Absolutely 100% negative. I'm not with that shit. And I think I've heard other people, other artists that appreciate it, whatever. Fuck that shit. If that's like, are Are we changing beats on the album too? Like, if you're doing shit like that, you might as well make another. Like, come the fuck on. What are you doing? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's a piece of art. It's how you felt at that moment, and that's what it is, and you leave it there. You don't go back and change it. You create something new. Like, you don't add new songs to an album that you released a year ago. Like, come on, you make a new, like, that doesn't, maybe I'm missing it, but I don't get that shit at all. You an artist, this is gonna be part of my new projects that are coming out. I'm not putting this other song on a new album. I'm not adding a verse. I'm not changing the beat. Like, I'm not doing that shit. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right. It's funny because I agree with you, but since you got all the cursing out for me, that's good. I ain't got to curse now. For me, the first thing when I heard that, it took me back to The Wire season 1 when Avon was playing a basketball, and that nigga said the ref made a bad call for Pop Joe's team, and the ref, Avon got in his face, and the ref was, getting all scared, and he was like, we could put some more time on the clock, and Avon was like, yo, you talking about a motherfucking do-over? Like, that's not how the game is played. You don't get a do-over. And that's what I think about with this. I feel like it's a do-over. And it's like, that's not how the game is played. Like, dog, you do the best album that you can do, you put it out, and that's it. I feel like it's almost like, okay, well, I'm gonna put this album out. A word JP said he ain't like track 3. Okay, well, let me change that up and then do that. I feel like it's this constant do-over, and that's not how you make music. I'll never forget this, y'all. The boy Cassidy lived across the street from me growing up in Philly. So one day I'm doing a song with Cassidy. This is before he got on Swiss and everything. And Cassidy, my man Classic, and my man Khalil. We doing the posse cut, I'm doing the beat. Now I told every MC, I was like, look, I'm not doing no do-overs. When y'all come here, come with your best rhyme. Because I knew what was going to happen. Right. People was going to come with their rhymes, then they was going to hear Classic and be like, oh shit, nah, we can't record that. I need to go home and read. Nah, come with your best rhymes ahead of time. And I think that's a piece of laziness that these artists have got nowadays, that it's like, oh, it's almost like I get a do-over. You're giving me a chance to keep going back until you get it straight. But I'm with you, JP, that make another album then. Like, put out another song. Like, but I almost feel like it's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to listen to all the fans' complaints. Then I'm going to go back and fix it. But I'm like, that's almost like remaking a movie again. Like, we're going to shoot this whole movie, and then we're going to hear, oh, it was too long. Okay, well, you know what? Let me go back. Let me edit some things out. Yo, do the movie that you wanted to make, and if people rock with it, they rock with it. If they don't, they don't. So I agree with you 100%, JP. JR, what you think?
Well, don't come to me now. I was supposed to go after him. But it's all good, kid. I'm letting you have your joy today. But it's all good. What do I say? I'm not with it either. I'm not with the do-overs. I think that's stupid. I really don't like that Kanye, he did that, dropped another single off it. It's like you said, this was where you were when you made this art. That's good. And that's where you at. If you got all these new songs, then put on a new album. Right. That's just it. I'm agreeing with you, Kill. I think people are getting too lazy, and they're so concerned about how the public is going to accept it. So if some people don't like it, it's like, all right, well, let me take this on that they don't like and give them another one. I'm like, yo, if this is the album, leave it. That's why I love when Prince got on stage at the Grammys. It was like, yo, albums still matter. Like, this is your body of work. Why you want to tamper with it? Like, we would be like back then, if y'all would, when Low End Theory came out and they would have added, say, people didn't like the scenario and they added the scenario remix, it would have been stupid. Like, why? Like, don't do that. Like, yo, it was fine the way it was. They just added the remix on the back of scenario when they released the single. You just put the remix on the back and that's it. Like, I don't understand why people can't do that. Like, back then they put, they had B-sides. Do a B-side. That's fine. Don't give me something, I'm going to put this on the album and resell the album again. That's stupid. Like, I think that's dumb. With the re-releases and all that. That's clown shit to me. I ain't with it. Not at all.
Nothing here today, man.
That's right, JR. Tell him, son. Tell him why you mad, son. Like, listen, I feel like even when you do, even with Kanye, the album's initially going to be called Swish. Then he changed it. Remember, he was releasing a notebook with who signed the notebook, who was going to be there. That's your opportunity to change it. let it breathe, switch it up or whatever, and then put it out. Don't start changing it after you done put it out. I know it's only digital release, and that gives you the freedom to do it, because if you actually releasing CDs and vinyl, like you can add that in, nobody else. You know what I'm saying? So, but still, I think it's just whack.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing too, like you said, JP, just with everything being digital now, it's like that's the new lane of releasing. So it's like, before in the past it was like, all right, I gotta go to the studio, now I gotta get the engineer to mix it, I gotta get it mastered, I gotta get it pressed up. Now it's like, you can wake up early in the morning on Saturday, make a beat, record the song, get your man to mix it, boom, it's on your SoundCloud by the end of the day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's giving artists, like you said, because nobody's repressing no records. It's like once the record is pressed, that's it.
Right.
Like JR was saying with the B-sides, is just that's the old school in us. You know what I mean? This new generation don't know nothing about 12-inch vinyl. They don't know nothing about the maxi single. They don't know nothing about wanting to go out and can I kick it 12-inch with the remix on the B-side? That this generation doesn't know anything about that. So for them, it's like they get everything. And I'll never forget with Big Boy's first album, his first solo album, it came with all the videos on it too. And it kind of like threw me, because I feel like, and with Netflix now, the whole thing is like binge watching. Let's just binge watch, all of, Orange is the New Black or the House of Cards or whatever. So I almost felt like when I got the CD with the DVD and it with all the videos, I kind of felt like, I miss being able to watch Rap City. And I know these days are gone and they're just never coming back. But when you would be watching Rap City and you'd be like, oh snap, it's the new Tribe video or it's the new Outkast video. It's just, for me, I don't want everything in one sitting. You know what I mean? I like it to span itself, because I mean, again, going back to what we said earlier with the low end, that album had to last us a good year, if not longer. You know what I'm saying? Just because we would get the videos, then I loved it. What was that? We Got the Jazz, where they flipped the video in the bugging out.
Yeah.
Like that. You just had cats who were, just thinking different. But, and nowadays it's not like that. But JR, you made a good point where Prince was saying that albums still matter. I always felt like with iTunes and the internet, it kind of made the whole game to be more so about singles and not about albums. I don't think this new generation, and then some of the people, JP, our age, who like Nas said, they in their second childhood and they swear they 23 again. I think they're fine with this single thing. I think they're fine with, going to iTunes and listening to the song and buying the songs that they want. And I remember when Jay-Z said, I think he did this with American Gangster, because he was like, nah, this album can't be purchased individually. Like, you either buy the whole album or you don't buy nothing at all. You know what I mean? What do you all think about that? Do you think it's ever going to be a time when albums and the younger generation and the masses really believe that albums still matter? What do you think, JP?
I think it's possible. I think it depends on the artist. I feel like. I think because, we feel a lot of times that the quality of music has dipped so much that people don't believe in full albums. And, the kids today, the singles will hold them over, different singles with different people. So as far as, you have to believe in the artist to support their whole album, buy their whole project. And I mean, it still happens, but it's dropped down so tremendously. It's like, with the whole ringtone thing came into play and all that, and now they're giving you the opportunity to go to iTunes or whatever and purchase certain singles. Like, you're giving the consumer more power based on the fact that the quality of music has changed. So it was like, we got to do something to circumvent this. You know what I'm saying? So even with that, even with being able to buy the little singles, now, I mean, they've raised the prices. It was 99 cents. Now it's like $1.29. So, it's they raised it. But I think it's still possible eventually. It's still possible now, and it does still happen now where artists, you'll buy the whole body of work. But will it get back to how it used to be? I doubt it.
What you think, JR?
Nah, I agree. I agree with JP. I just don't think. I think, it's just what's next. And right now, it's just the singles. That's what this generation want. They want to hear a single, and that's it. They not they not content on albums anymore. It's like, come on, yo, I want to hear. That's why you got so many new artists that's coming out with hot singles and a hot single, and then after that, their album is trash, but nobody really talks about the album anyway. So it's like, you know what? Let's just keep bringing out these singles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many artists that's out now that got like a banging single. Like the Designer dude, he's from Brooklyn, right?
Right.
And he got this hit out.
Hold tight. Designers from Brooklyn.
You didn't know that, Kill? Oh my God. Nah, he's from
I know,
Brooklyn.
Phil, it hurts. It really hurts.
He's from Brooklyn.
It hurts.
Yo,
Yeah.
this
Right.
dude from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, that.
Yo, you just broke his heart, JR. You just broke his heart.
I knew that this dude was from Atlanta.
Yo, are you starting? What? You really didn't know that too?
Yeah.
No, yo, dog, I know the song Panda. I don't know. Because that's the other thing. Keep in mind, back in our day, we knew where you were from because 9 times out of 10, you said it in your rhyme. You know?
Right.
How I knew Big was from Brooklyn. He said probably something about some Brooklyn bullshit. We on it or something. You just knew. You know what I mean? You knew Kanye was from Chicago. So I'm used to MCs telling you. So when he's like, I got broads in Atlanta, I'm like, oh, dude from Atlanta. He sound like he Future, so he sound like he from Atlanta. So wow, he's from Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, once he come out, like, nobody ain't gonna want to talk about a Panda album. I mean, like, nobody want to hear an album from this dude. So it's like, that's what it is. The new thing is about singles, and it's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like in Beyonce and her documentary, she was like, "Yo, it's not even about that. You bring out a single until they die out, and then you bring out a second one. Keep bringing them out, and then they die out, and they die out, and they die out." Even though she was throwing a shot at Rihanna, but it was the truth. But at the end of the day, it was just like the fact that, hey, you keep bringing out singles, and that's just what it is. It's just the new now. I mean, I would love for it to go back to albums again so people can see the body of work, and people put these albums together, and it'd be like, yo, that's why that single fit, and that's why this single fit, and it just worked. But nah, man. I hope I'm a pray that it is, but I don't see it going back that route though.
Yo, I'm still stuck on this design thing. JP, how did you know this nigga was from Brooklyn?
I mean, like I said, I pay like, listen, you know, dudes, most of us don't pay attention, but I pay attention. Like, I don't pay attention like I used to 20 years ago, but I pay attention to know enough that he was from Brooklyn. He's 18 years old. I mean, he grew up listening to Future. That's why he sound like Future. Think about it. I mean, it's like you can't be like, oh, this dude sound like Future. Well, he's 18, and Future's been out for like what, 8 years or something like that, or you know, how long he's been out, 6-7 years. He was, you know, he probably like 11 or 12 when he first heard of Future, so he grew up on Future. So I mean, it just makes sense. But yeah, when I heard he was from Brooklyn, I was like, wow, okay.
I mean, where did you hear this? Was this an interview? Did somebody?
I can't remember. I probably read it on Twitter or something like that, maybe.
That's where I read it from. When he brought out the single, they was like Brooklyn native, and I was like, oh no. I'm like, we got another one again because we already had what's his name, the dude that's gonna be in jail for life. What's his name?
Oh, Troy Ave.
Not him. Not him. The other one that made Hot Nigga.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, and they sounded like these dudes from the South. I'm like, yo, y'all from New York. What's wrong with y'all? Like, I'm like, so good. I don't want to hear no album from him. I hope he don't make an album because that song is trash anyway.
Now he's on Ye's place, right?
Yeah. That song was on Ye's app, like a quick part.
That's what confused me because that was the first time I heard it.
Yeah, because Pusha T found it.
Okay.
Yeah, Pusha T found him because you know he's the CEO of good music now. But I think Pusha T discovered him or something like that.
Yeah, because I heard that joint on Ye's album, and I'm like, ah, yo, that's kind of dope. And then like, nah, that's Panda, and I'm like, nah, that's Ye's song.
Right.
Some other whole nother, because I don't know where you do that at. Where it's like, yo, on my album, like I was like, yo, this nigga Ye, there's no rule book for Ye. Like
great promotion for him, for Designer.
Yeah, because like Ye is like Montessori school. It's like do whatever you want, draw whatever you want. There's no boxes. I'm like, wait a second, this nigga jacked his own artist to put. Okay, all right, okay. Wow, Brooklyn. All right, I'm stuck. Stuck now for a minute.
You better not clown us on no Twitter either, because I know you can. You will be like, yo, y'all got another whack Brooklyn dude.
What? Yo, man.
You would.
I've got nothing.
You would.
You,
Yeah, okay.
back on up.
No, because I be letting you have your glory about my Knicks. That's why I had to.
That's
throw that in
basketball.
there.
Basketball.
You ain't gonna clown. You clown the Knicks, but you ain't gonna clown Brooklyn.
Basketball and hip hop totally
Go ahead.
totally different thing. So tell me this, y'all. We gonna have to do a show just on that right there alone. Like what?
Yeah.
Where's the New York, the East Coast sound? I mean, you know, I think I told y'all the story how I was arguing with one of my teenagers. He was trying to tell me Fat Joe was from Miami. And I'm like, no, he's from the Bronx. And they're like, nah, he's from Miami. And I had to go to YouTube and show him Flo Joe. But, you know, because they like, he always with Khalid or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but he's from the Bronx. He's in a group called Digging in the Crates. And they just swore I was lying. It's funny because one of my kids, I was telling them when Straight Outta Compton came out, I was like, yeah, Ice Cube was one of the biggest gangster rappers. And one of my kids was like, are we there yet, nigga? Like, that dude? I was like, no. Don't get it twisted. Cube was like the biggest gangster rapper. But it's funny now because he's known to my teenagers as being, you know, are we there yet? And barbershop and stuff like that. All right, y'all. So tell me this for the last joint. So we all of us agreed that, you know, we want the albums. We don't know if it's ever coming back. I know I had a question for you, JP, real quick. With streaming, are you able to see the liner notes to albums?
No, not that. I don't believe so.
That's
only when I think when you only purchase, and when you actually purchase the download, they give you the JPEG of the album cover and the liner notes. You know what I'm saying, like that. But in streaming, no.
All right.
Strike number one.
You know, I'm a credit reader, but that's one thing I don't like about it.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. That's why I still love going out and just copping the actual case to just open it up. And it's funny because I used to always say that, which is why I love the machine so much, because it gives you the hands-on. Because I never liked the whole Fruity Loops, like clicking a mouse to make a beat. I want to turn a knob. I want to hit a pad. I want to touch a key. Yeah, so the game has changed, man. The game has changed. We're out of this, you know. And now they changed the release date to Fridays. What does that make a difference to y'all? Does it matter that it went from Tuesday to Friday, JP?
Nah, like release date, that's a minor thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like to know when it's coming out, but now Friday's a deal. It's not a big deal. I'm like, when it did happen, I'm like, why did they change that? I mean, ultimately it doesn't matter, but I don't feel no way about that. It's just a day of the week, so it don't matter to me.
Right. JR, what about you?
Oh, now I ain't got no problem with it. And now that I know it's on Friday, now it's on a Friday, I'm good because I can get paid and buy my album. I'm good. I don't gotta wait until Tuesday until like, all right, I'm coming out Tuesday. I gotta save my money from my last check. Nah, I'm good. I can go get it this Friday and I'm good.
All right, that's what's up. Yo, JP, what we was chopping it up about yesterday. Ask JR that question we was chopping up about.
Oh. Yeah, so I was talking with my wife, and you know, we was listening to some music, and randomly I asked her, I was like, it's clearly that, you know, Beyonce has risen above bigger than Janet Jackson ever was, but my question was to her, and we both agreed, like, yeah, Beyonce's become bigger than Janet Jackson ever was. I was like, but has Rihanna become bigger than Janet Jackson? She was like, yes, but I was like, I don't know if I agree about that. I don't know if I agree with that. What do you think?
JR, what do you think?
You knew to ask me that question. Hold up a minute. You tried to.
The glasses on.
Wait a minute.
Glasses on.
Wait a minute, because y'all caught me for a second because of B being higher than Janet. Actually, as much as it hurt, I'm going to have to agree. Like, Beyonce is just all over the place. Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's
everybody.
No. Yeah.
From that. Yeah, that's neither here nor there, but damn, that hurt to say that, being the Janet fan, it hurt. But Rihanna, I don't know if I can agree to that, though.
Right.
I really don't. I really think Rihanna hasn't really reached that yet. Because I think, for me, it was more about of what the things that Janet did and the things that each, stuff she was in, like every community she dealt with, like she dealt with, the Rhythm Nation stuff, and then, with her with gay rights and all that, and every like aspect of different things she was part of. Rihanna's not that. Rihanna to me is just a party girl, like for real, and that's what she's gonna be known for. And her boyfriend, like at least with Janet, to me, it was more about her music, and she was in different avenues, and she acted, and she did all this. See, Beyonce did that. You know what I'm saying? Beyonce acts. Beyonce did this.
Right.
She's in every part of aspect of dealing with music and all that. But Rihanna's not. Rihanna just, it's all about the music for her. I have never seen her stand up for too much of anything. So to be as big as Janet, nah.
I asked a few people yesterday, and most of the people I asked said that Rihanna has gotten to be bigger than Janet ever was, and they said most of that is because of social media, though. Because if Janet didn't have all that, if Janet had social media, they felt like it might have been different, but they felt like the social media aspect propelled Rihanna a little further than Janet. But I still don't know if I agree with that. I'm like, I don't know. It's easy to say that, yeah, she's past Janet because we're still living in the now, in the age of Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? And my man made a good point, was like, during this Beyonce era, Rihanna has had hits. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is interesting. So I'm like, it's like I said, it's easy for us to say, yeah, because we're still living in Rihanna. She's still popping everything. And Janet, was, when she was popping, it was more in the 80s and early 90s. So it's kind of hard to think back how much that impact was. But I still remember it. I remember it being ridiculous. So I don't know if I can agree to that yet. So it can kind of, like, I can see both sides of the argument. So I just wanted to ask you, because I know you appreciate that question.
Yeah. And I'm not.
It's a legitimate argument.
No, and I'm a Janet fan. I'm a diehard. So I ain't no.
So you biased.
I was honest with you. I was honest with the B whole thing. I was honest with that. I was like, B, yes, I agree with that. Right. I can agree with that. But when it came to Rihanna, nah, I ain't letting that happen. I'm not doing 2 for 2 tonight. No, y'all not getting that. Yo, Kill, I'm being a Mary fan right
now. Now, and the funny thing is, when I was telling JPJR, I was telling him, it's hard for me to talk about that because I've never heard a Rihanna album. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like I can speak intelligently on it because Rihanna, I don't think she does. But hell, I don't know. Her last 3 albums could have been 5 mic classics, and I just don't know. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute
but
now.
I think what happened? They're not. Well, I don't think they would be. But I'm just saying, for me, I'm like JP. I remember the Janet impact. And I just don't see Rihanna having an impact that huge on music right now. Like, I mean, and it's all how we got to define hits, because hits now, I mean, I remember back in the mid 90s, record labels was buying 1 million records just so that they could tell their artists they shipped platinum. You know what I mean? No one had brought these albums yet. You know what I mean? So hits, hell, it's all about numbers. You could buy SoundCloud views and plays or whatever. So you got to define, like, what is a Rihanna hit? Like, I mean, Janet was huge. When you listen to Control, you're talking about not just hits, but great music. Right. You know what I mean? Right. There's a big difference between the two. A lot of people can make hit songs. You Can't Touch This was a hit song. Ice Ice Baby was technically a hit song. There are a lot of hit songs that ain't good songs. Right. When you talk about Control and Pleasure Principle and What Have You Done For Me Lately, Let's Wait a While, these are not just hits. These are great songs. When you talk about Rhythm Nation, when you talk about Escapade, when you're talking about If, and
run it down, bro. Go on.
No, I'm just saying that there's a big difference between making hits and making great music. And I think Janet was able to do both. I can't say Rihanna's done both. Even if you've never heard a Janet album, you've heard every song I just said.
Right.
You can't say that with Rihanna. You can't say every Rihanna single or hit is a great song. You know what I mean? I like the song Work. I mean, come on. Cats like to do the little Men in Black memory stick and act like Rihanna wasn't a reggae artist at first.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh,
we don't want to act like that. We want to act like that Rihanna ain't exist. Like, I remember that Rihanna, and one thing. Yeah, and one thing I told JP too is I would love to see numbers for Rihanna pre and post the Chris Brown beat, because I feel like a lot of women really jumped on the Rihanna bandwagon and got behind her after the whole Chris Brown beating thing. You know, so again, with social media, so many different things nowadays can make you. I mean, shit, look at Kim Kardashian. The sex tape made her who she is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not a lick of talent. I don't know what Kim does. I mean, what is Kim Kardashian's, you know, occupation? Is it a model? Is she a movie star?
Businesswoman, man. She get it popping. She clearly.
That's exactly. They are like find. You know, when it comes to the me and mom was just talking about that a couple of days ago. Yo, like business wise, that family is a smart when it comes to business. Like you can't hate on them, yo.
I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying that we live in a society now where talentless people become stars.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, we didn't grow up in that time. If you was a star, Janet could dance. You know, Michael could dance. The people who were stars in our era had talent. This new era of stars, you know, it's a whole different thing. So even without hearing Rihanna's music, I would probably just have to say nah, because the one thing that a lot of people don't give Janet credit for is that Janet birthed so much of what's going on. Janet was the original, like, freaky chick. I know it was kind of like Madonna, but Janet was the original Joan. I mean, listen to them words in If. You're smooth and shiny. Come on. This chick is talking about giving head on the damn song. Like, she was the first.
Moaning at the end of Funny How Time Flies, boy. I remember listening to that, boy. I was like, oh my God, she's moaning.
Yeah, right.
You know, so, I mean, you got to remember, like, Janet birthed the Little Kim. She birthed the Foxies. Like, Rihanna ain't birthing nothing. Like, there's nothing that's being birthed out of Rihanna right now that's going to, you know, travel on for music. And I think a lot of things, another thing I told JP, not a lot of dudes that I know really rock with Janet like that. You know what I mean? Like, the same way that a lot of dudes don't like. I'll give you a great example. My man Jay sent me and was telling me about Havoc and Alchemist, the joint that they have with Meth. And I heard it, and I was like, yo, that joint is cool. I was like, Beyonce got harder beats on her album. He was like, what? He was like, what did you just say? I was like, yo, Just Blaze got beats on Beyonce's album. Like, Beyonce's album got some bangers. Like, don't get it twisted. The production is crazy, you know? I understand how crazy that could sound at a Havoc Method Man produced by Alchemist song. And a dude that Beyonce has harder beats. I get it. But I think that's the thing too. Not a lot of people really listened to Janet's albums, and that's what a lot of and that's why the first thing I told JP was it's hard for me to say because I've never heard Rihanna. You have a lot of people who have never heard people's albums, but then will sit there and argue you to death who's the better singer, who's the better rapper. My nigga, if you've never heard a whole Janet Jackson album, it's hard for you to really critique and talk about what Janet has done, because even though Janet had those hits, there was a lot of album cuts that were still great album cuts. Rope, there's a lot of bangers that I Get So Lonely. Come on, y'all. Like, that one song right there may be bigger than any Rihanna song for me.
Bro, don't do it. Don't do it on this podcast tonight.
But that's all I'm saying. And the funny thing is that just reminded me of one of the other things, like, you know, the differences between knowing how to put out a great single and something that's an album cut. Like the new Maxwell song, that Lady by the Water or whatever it's called. I'm like, it's
Lake by the Ocean.
Yeah, whatever. Lady by the Ocean, Lady by the Water, some Lady by Water. It's a cool song, but I feel like it's an album cut.
Right. I feel that.
I don't feel like he ain't had an album out in 6-7 years. Like, right. I don't feel like that's a dope single. JP, what do you think about that joint?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it too, and I thought it was cool. It's not like, you know, but with certain people, even though the singles ain't big because of their history, you be like, yo, I know the album's still you're gonna have better just stuff on the album, so I'm not worried. You know, that type of thing. So you can appreciate that for an artist of his caliber. Right. I would say that.
All right, no doubt. Well, as always, man, good looking out. We're rocking with me. JP, give them all your information, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff.
You can follow me at JPAZ Music on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, all that, JPAZ Music. Check me out.
You got new music too, JP?
I'm working on the album's coming, man. It's almost done. About to start mixing it.
All right, JR, give them all your stuff too, bro.
JuniorWorldOfSoul.com. Check me out. You know, my daily. You know, I do weekly. You know, try to put new artists out there about that R&B for real. Because I'm sick of hearing the same 5 songs on the radio. Like you said, work. I'm sick of hearing that on the radio. Every time I turn on the radio, that song is on, and it's the same 5 artists playing. We got other R&B artists out there that's making some good quality music that deserves to get shine on the radio. So
that's why you need Apple Music.
You need Apple Music to tell you where to get the people from.
Yo! Oh man, but yeah, just check me out at my website. Thanks to Kill. But yeah.
Alright, no doubt. Y'all already know this with me at Kill889 on Twitter. We'll make beats for food. I'll check y'all out next week, y'all.
All righty.